Hey folks, Professor Johnson here, back at it. We creeping up on the end. We're at the 19th century. Only two more centuries to go, 20th and where we are. So we're at the 19th century. So the lecture this is set up in two parts, so 1850s to the 1500s and the 1850s until we get to the 19th century. So this period is known as this era is known as a bunch of has a bunch of different names. You will hear the Bustle period, which was a silhouette. You'll hear the crinoline period, the Directory period, but more importantly, you hear the Victorian era. So we will look through, of course, the historical perspective, right? We'll be looking at garments for men and women. We'll be looking at, unfortunately, garments for enslaved Americans, and we'll continue our Getting Dressed series. And you also gonna get a list of stuff that Napoleon packed with him when he was fighting the revolution. So we'll get that in the first part of the lecture, okay? And then moving on to the second part of the 19th century, we had some important stuff happening in the United States. Specifically, we have the Civil War. So we will talk about the Civil War. We also will talk about kind of leading up to the Civil War, what garments were looking like leading up to the Civil War. In this period, we also will get a little bit of the Victorian era. We also will get our introduction to one of my favorite brands, Levi Strauss. We will hear about the invention of the Singer sewing machine, and this is the first time that garments start to be mass produced. So we will get all that. Okay. Again, we'll get the changes in dress. We'll look at some shoes and some undergarments, and we'll continue that getting dressed in series. Okay. So we're creeping up. The next few weeks we will cover the 20th century and the 21st century. So we'll break the 21st century down into smaller bite-sized chunks, but we'll get the 20th century in there. We'll get my favorite period, the 80s and 90s. That was my coming of age era. Okay, all right. So you know what to do. You know what to do. I'm not even gonna say it. You know what to do at this point. Okay. All right. See you guys on the other side.